Hello CX Fiends, welcome back to another episode of CXTV. We are in Druid Hill Park for day 2 of Charm City Cross, the third stop on the Trek USCX series. Bill, what do we have in store for us today?
Well, yesterday we saw another dominating performance by Maghalie Rochette in the elite women's race. So I think, not to sound like a broken record, we're going to see if she can repeat that performance today, and we're also going to see who's up to the task of trying to stop her. So we got Bakker who's been going strong. Sid McGill's right there. So, Nico Knoll had some breakout rides. So yeah, that's I think what we have on tap for this elite women's race, Bodie.
I just hope they all have small feet because these are really, really small.
You know what we should do? Let's check out the action and see.
All right, we are at the start line of our women's elite race, day 2, Charm City. Looking at the tire selection there in our front row as they are getting ready to start this one. Hot day in Baltimore at Druid Hill Park as our field heads down the S turns of the straight stretch here at Charm City. Looks like Carolyn Manny may have taken that whole shot by the time we catch up to them after the ball field. Sydney McGill has secured the front of the race. Nico Knoll on her wheel. Good performance from Knoll yesterday. She's looking to do the same thing here today. Looked like Manny was down back to third place as they come through pit 1 for the first time. Reversed course from yesterday for half of it, so which means this is the big part, that they're on the other side of the park heading towards Mansion Hill. What I'm referring to as the power cube, these just 3 long sections, as we see Maghalie Rochette, who was not at the front of this race, moving up to third place on like the third leg of this power cube. Just 3 long power sections together until they make a right turn for the ascent up to Mansion Hill. This is just a long, slightly uphill drag, really hard, and then at the time you get to the end of it, you're at Mansion Hill and you're having to do it reverse from yesterday, starting out low, coming in, going right to left. This time there's going to be a mandatory dismount when we get to this really awkward left-hand turn. Rochette has moved her way into first place, started about 5th, moved up to 3rd in the power cube, now on first to get across Mansion Hill, and that exactly what you see right there. Just having a little bit of trouble up front as Nico Knoll is able to just run herself into second position. Bakker has no choice but to slow up and let her slide in. Great move by Knoll. You saw Rochette having a little bit of an issue, but nobody could pass her because she was out front. Knoll really being aggressive up there. A really good move to move up to second place. Bakker now in third place with McGill in 4th. Going down Club Row, again, this is reversed from yesterday, hitting down lower. They've moved the planks to this position, more of a traditional Charm City Day 2 planks position on the lower lip of Club Row. And then the big difference in the lap is that we come to the flyover, come to the steps at the end of the lap. Yesterday was at the beginning of the lap. This means that the planks, in years past, you'd come over the planks on day 2 and then you just have a run for the finish. Here it's sort of takes away that advantage a little bit if you do the planks cleanly, because then you have to climb up the flyover. See Carolyn Manny in her normal early race struggle to get into the group. She always seems to find a way as the race goes on, but always looks like she's hurting in this early part of it. Rochette through our green oasis at the middle of the course. We got our dancing crossing guards. Those guys are awesome. They're every year. And Lauren Zerner in the 5th place in this lead group. So we got Rochette, Bakker, Knoll, McGill, and Zerner. Those are your top 5. Climbing through these tricky off cambers that are always at the end of the lap. So you have to make it through here cleanly. And then you got a pretty straight shot over the flyover and to the finishing stretch. Rochette is going to lead them through at the end of lap 1. Here comes Manny trying to catch on to that group of 5. Slowing up a little bit, taking some drinks. There's a nice downhill section there, so just a tad of recovery as long as nobody at the front wants to push things too hard. That actually gives Manny the opportunity to get into this group. As you can see where they start lap 2, she is right on there. So our group of 5 is now a group of 6 with Carolyn Manny integrating herself into the back. We got Mana Bakker pushing the pace with McGill now going out front. Nico Knoll trying to come in the inside of Bakker early in this lap. Rochette falling off the pace a little bit, about 4 or 5 bike lengths, and they're going. Rochette not able to match that attack early in this race. As we see our top 3, we see Zerner, we see Rochette there on Zerner's wheel, not the normal place we would see her. We got Manny coming up a little bit behind. It was Raylan Nuss actually in that group as well, and Rochette now, you can see as we zoom in on it, falling behind Raylan Nuss. I'm assuming that's a problem with her bike, not with her person, so probably going to have to go in and change a bike for Rochette as she has fallen well off the pace. And this is something that I'm sure Mana Bakker's pit crew is screaming at her right now, that Rochette is in the pits, and you can see the reaction. She is going to take advantage of this, go out front, pass Knoll, pass McGill, and take the lead. And she's just like, guys, this is the opportunity. Let's get on this. Let's go. Our leader is back there chasing. We need to go now. Here's Rochette on a different bike, so definitely a bike problem, maybe a flat tire coming around those early turns after the ball fields, and she has her work cut out for her as Mana Bakker knows that this is a golden opportunity. You got the leader in the series. That's Bakker's goal, is to win this series, and the more places that Rochette is back at the end of this race, the better chance she has of Bakker has of securing the overall. So she's going to push this as long as she can with McGill on her wheel. A little different day than yesterday. We had it was still warm but not super hot, and it actually had a little bit of rain in the day, which kept temperatures down, added to a little slicker conditions, but temperatures were definitely down. The summer heat came back with a vengeance on Sunday in the 80s, really humid, just not a fun day to be racing bikes out there. I mean, it's always fun to race bikes, but if it were 10 degrees cooler, it might have been a little more pleasant. Here we see Rochette, and look at that gap. That is the gap to the back of the leaders. I believe that is Nuss, who's back there. That's the next person that she'd be able to catch up with. Bakker still pushing it. McGill second. Knoll in third place. Zerner in fourth. Nuss in fifth. And you can see Maghalie Rochette just coming on the bottom of Mansion Hill as everybody else is on the top. And Bakker is starting to stretch out this lead. McGill trying to stay in contact. Knoll falling back a little farther as we get to the planks on lap 2 with Mana Bakker out ahead. McGill in second place. Nico Knoll up and over. Lauren Zerner right on her wheel. And then a little farther back, we have Raylan Nuss coming through. And then Rochette with Manny still in the distance. Up the flyover. There's Manny coming over the planks as well. They're already on the flyover, and Manny is making it to the planks through our green Oasis section. Here is your leader. Mana Bakker will go back. We see McGill just coming down there, a couple seconds behind. Looks like I believe that was still Knoll, and then Zerner, Nuss, and Rochette now is almost caught up with Nuss. Knoll and Zerner in a little of a battle in pit 2. Nice move by Zerner to get around, taking away that angle on the turn, picking up a position over Nico Knoll. End of the lap 2. We got Bakker just a couple seconds ahead of McGill. McGill has spread it out and gotten a little more of a gap over Zerner and Knoll behind. That'll be third and fourth place. Raylan Nuss now in fifth place and right on her wheel. After that flat tire, after having to go into the pits, fifth place is Maghalie Rochette. We talked about getting a drink the last lap through here. Mana Bakker not slowing down this time. Sid McGill actually takes the opportunity to grab a bottle. That may cost her a couple more seconds as Bakker is just head down and going. Here are our final 2 in that lead group with Maghalie Rochette right on the back of Raylan Nuss's wheel. Saw Bakker go through. You can see the gap to McGill. Farther back is going to be Noel Zerner. Now Rochette has moved up in front of Nuss. That same 4 coming by pit 1, up and out of the saddle for Noel. And look at Rochette. She says, y'all, I got work to do here. You're going to have to get out of my way. Sport leader coming through. Maghalie Rochette taking care of that chase group, and she knows that the mission still lays ahead. Track down Sid McGill first, and then look towards Mana Bakker, who has a big head start on her in this race. Lauren Zerner trying to stick to Maghalie Rochette's wheel, looks behind her, sees that those chasers are still there. Up and out of the saddle for the ascent to Mansion Hill for Bakker. McGill right behind her still, and there it is. 3rd place now on the course, Maghalie Rochette, and starting to close in. Oh, a little bit of an issue for Bakker. That's going to give Rochette about a second more on her if she's able to get this part cleanly along with McGill. Clean dismount for McGill. Here comes Rochette in the same tricky section, hopping up and off. We got McGill coming through. Just about a 4-second gap to Rochette behind. So we're to our planks, our Wagner planks one more time. Bakker still maintaining her lead, but it looks like Rochette is starting to close down on McGill behind. Farther back, got Raylan Nuss and Lauren Zerner. Looks like Nico Knoll is following back. Up and over the flyover for Bakker. Still has a sizable gap over McGill and Rochette, but the Canadian pair is definitely right together. A little bit of an issue there for Rochette getting back into that pedal, but she just closes down that gap coming up through here as we see Nuss and Zerner coming through there. Oh, and as we pan back, we missed the pass, but Rochette able to make her way in front of McGill on that tight turn before the Oasis section and our S turns. And here comes Bakker. She's got Chris Auer, our race director here at Charm City, cheering her on as she comes towards pit 2. And now we got Rochette, and now her fellow Canadian, Sydney McGill, is a passenger on this train. Rochette trying to reel Mana Bakker back in. Up and out of the saddle through pit 2. Up and out of the saddle as they make it to these off cambers at the end of the lap. Rochette, all she's thinking about is Mana Bakker. She can look up there and see her heading towards the flyover as she's finishing. The off cameras got Raylan Nuss coming through with Lauren Zerner just a second or two behind her. Bakker may know that the inevitable is coming. You know, not the same impetus on the start stretch as we saw the lap before. Taking the bottle out, getting a drink, soft pedaling this downhill. Yeah, I think that she knows that this is just lap 4. There's a couple more laps in this race, and she can't go all out anymore because she can see Rochette is starting to close that distance. So there's no sense in burning any more matches if she's not going to be able to maintain this lead. Here they are, just about to enter the power cube. We got Bakker and Rochette and McGill all in the same stretch. A little farther back than, it seems with the camera bringing them together, but definitely a lot closer than we were even a half lap ago. Coming towards the final leg, this little chicane in the middle of the final leg before they make the right turn towards Mansion Hill, and it's just 5 seconds between Bakker and Rochette. Farther back, we got Nuss going through. Here's Lauren Zerner holding on to that 5th place position as they make this long drive, and the gap is just closing down. Rochette able to just reel in Bakker out ahead. Cue the Jaws music. Here she comes. big miscue from Bakker there. Again, she had trouble last lap, even more trouble this lap getting off the bike in that left-hand turn, and that really gave that was a gift to Rochette to give her just a couple more seconds to get back onto that wheel. All right, we're going to stop the action here just for a second to go back a couple laps and look at some technique. I want to cue in on Maghalie Rochette and her dismount at the bottom of Mansion Hill and this run. I'll watch her, and she's going to get off. And watch, she's top side. That's normal side dismount, but you're at the bike is below you. And look at here. This is what I want you to key into. Look how difficult it is to get onto the bike because the bike is below her, and she has to really reach out up and over on that off camera. We'll watch it again here. So normal side dismount, little awkward coming up there. No one is not awkward on this turn. It's just an incredibly awkward turn. But watch when she remounts, she has to go up and over and get on there and almost come to a complete stop. This is the lap that Bakker goes down that we just saw. Now watch Rochette. Did you see that? She goes on the dirty side. She got off on the completely different side than she did the laps before, learning from what was hard then. And watch up top. Look how easy it is to get up there. She's able to just kick, push, and go smoothly into it. So a little more of a jump down at the bottom, but then she's above her bike when she gets to the top by doing this dirty side dismount. So I got to learn how to dismount on both sides of your bike. And then when she's up top, she's right over it. She's so high up that's just an easy step over the top tube, and she's off and going. Okay, let's get back to our action. Through Mansion Hill, about a 2-second lead for Bakker over Rochette. They've been battling together much like we have in our men's race with Brunner and Strohmeyer. It's been Bakker and Rochette on the women's side, just battling it out every race. Heading towards the planks. Bakker and Rochette now locked together. This is just going to be a battle between these two for our final laps of the race as they come to the flyover. Opportunity for Rochette after that long sustained chase and attack to get back there just to sort of regroup, get her breath, and figure out where she wants to go. We saw her make a move on Sid McGill right on the other side of this hill. Looks like she might have been gearing up to do the same for Bakker, but decides to hold off for now as they come through the turns in our Oasis section. This twisty, turny spot. Nothing you can really do except follow wheels through there. Bakker through cleanly, but now it's going to get tactical. Now it's a game of how do I keep Maghalie Rochette behind me. Through pit 2. This is what started it all with Bakker's attack through pit 2. This time, much more sustained effort, not going all in anymore, saving those matches until she really needs them at the end of this race. Finishing up another lap. Only a couple more left in this race. All together as they come through, everybody's able to get a drink. They know there's no sense attacking there now. The action is going to happen later in this lap. The action at Charm City happens near Mansion Hill. You want to be the first rider on Mansion Hill every lap, and that gives you the best opportunity if you can get a gap there to take it all the way home. Coming through the ball fields, heading towards pit 1. Bakker, Rochette, just not, no, this isn't the part to do anything. It's really just get through these sections cleanly. Rochette's probably like no more flat tires in that section. Good, check that off. Able to ride cleanly, stay on the wheel. And now it's good. Now is the point. Now we're getting to this point where Bakker's going to just start looking over her shoulder. Now we're in this power cube. You can see Rochette already like getting out of the saddle and back on it. It's almost like she's just picking her spots, trying to figure out when she wants to go. Bakker's like, can I put an effort in here? Can I surprise her and get away? Because this will be the time to do it. Or is she just going to play defense? Try to hold off, and here we go. Here it is. You knew it was coming. This isn't Nostradamus stuff here. You knew this was coming. Rochette was just antsy to go, and she finally does, and she just opens up a gap right away. Able to get 4 bike lengths over Bakker. Almost inevitable. As soon as she made that catch and was able to sit on for a lap, just regroup, you knew that this was the place that she was going to attack, and that's exactly what Rochette does. Coming up towards Mansion Hill. She's going to make that right turn. She just has to ride this smoothly. Another thing, we already know that Bakker has to nail it this time through here. She had trouble last lap on this left-hand turn that's coming up, so she's got to get through smoothly here if she has any chance of sticking with Rochette and battling her for the win on day 2 of Charm City. Up to the single track on the top of Mansion Hill, we see Sid McGill kind of lost in no women's land there in 3rd place, racing her own race. Just wants to make sure that no one behind her catches up, and then if anything happens in front of her, she's going to be right there to pounce on the opportunity. Raylan Nuss, good race for her, coming in 4th place. We see her up top doing a really nice kick push to get through. Carolyn Manny, late race push as always, but she's got Lauren Zerner on a great race in 5th place up ahead. Manny trying to track down her former teammate. Pan back, got Nico Knoll. Not sure what was up with Knoll's race today. I mean, it may just be a lot of racing in the legs. Was able to be up there in the fight yesterday, falling a little farther back, but still 6th place. We've got Ellen Noble coming through up top. Another good battle between her, Carla Williams, Lily Sonneman. That is, they are all looking for 8th, 9th, and 10th place. And our final lap of the race. Pit 1. She's got the 5-second cue from Dad there telling her the gap for Bakker. Sid McGill still keeping the foot on the pedals, making sure she can secure that 3rd place, another podium spot. But it's just smooth sailing now for Maghalie Rochette. Rough waters at the beginning of this race with the flat tire, but made the change, got back in there, had the challenge of catching up, was able to catch everyone in the top 5, pass all of them, catch up to Bakker, who attacked her when she knew she was going into the pits. I was able to get out front, and she's going to take this win on day 2. Here is your race winner, Maghalie Rochette. Sweeping Charm City. Madam Bakker did all she could to win this race, had the opportunity, hanging on for 2nd place. Good finish for her. Sid McGill, 3rd place. That is your podium. Day 2, Charm City Cross, 3rd round of the Trek USCX series. We saw Raylan Nuss coming through there in 4th place. A little bow from Lauren Zerner in 5th place. All right, let's hear from our race winner, Maghalie Rochette.
All right, Maghalie, we've talked a lot over the last couple of weeks, so I'm going to let you kind of conduct this one. What would you ask yourself after this race?
Are you getting tired of me?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. I'm hoping you're not getting tired of my questions.
I'm not. All right, tough one today. I mean, actually, really good one. I had a really good race, but I got a flat tire on the last part of the 1st lap, and that was a challenge. Then I was like, okay. First I was like, shit. And then I'm like, you know what? Challenge. And the last time that something like that happened at Rochester, I didn't fully rise to the occasion. I didn't manage to bridge the gap to 1st place. And I remember, I noted my mistakes, last time. And one of them was I just went full on too quickly and I never rested. So I never had room to play. So this time I was like, okay, flat tire. I'm going to kind of save the damage, limit the damage, but recover while I have the flat tire so I can then pin it. And that's what I did. And at some point, I think when she saw me coming, she slowed down a bit and I was like, okay, great. So then we rested together for a lap and I was like, okay, where can I go? So I was really careful and mindful of resting where I could so I could pounce when it counted.
Yeah, I noticed coming off the flyover, it was, I think, more of a nice pass, but more of an aggressive pass on Sid there, which I completely missed because I turned as soon as you made it. But then I was ready because I was like, okay, well, she's going to line up Manon for the exact same spot. But then it looked like you did take your time and you waited until the Mansion Hill.
Yeah, I mean, I almost did, honestly, but David was in the pits and he was like, take your time. And I'm like, oh, you know what? You're right. Like, I'll make sure I'm like really well recovered so I can go for real. Because it's so easy to do these kind of half-ass attack, you know? And those don't do anything good. So I was like, okay, let's fully recover and go full gas. And I went on Mansion Hill. And I didn't know if she was there, but I'm like, I can't look back. Like, let's just go full on and then try to not mess up the off-camber. So once I cleared that one, I was like, okay, let's go.
6 races in 3 weeks. I mean, that's a lot. How are you feeling as far as, you know, where you are now and just going forward?
Pretty good, to be honest. You know, I'm feeling still good. I'm glad there's one more and then a little bit of a break. That will feel good, but I'm loving the USCX so far, loving the CXTV Tour, and I feel like when I'm tired, like everybody is probably starting to be tired, so it's even more important to focus on like the execution and doing those little things well, and I think that can go a long way. So instead of focusing just on going full gas, I try to focus on how can I do it well, and I think it helps when we're getting tired.
Awesome. We'll see you in Wisconsin next week.
Yeah, see you guys. Thanks.